This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening, I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Anthony Germain. Let's get right to our top story. A Corner Brook family wants to know why Jordan McKay was shot and killed in his Corner Brook home earlier this week.
Tonight, his sister is speaking out. She's accusing police of holding back information, and she wants to know why an officer fired a deadly shot at her brother.
Here Now's Colleen Connors spoke with members of the McKay family.
Tuesday afternoon, Jordan McKay called his sisters to say he was going back to school.
We were so happy, and then just a matter of hours later, I just never thought that would be the last time I would ever see my brother. And being on the phone with him at the time when all this was going down, it's just like why?
Lisa McKay Greening can barely keep it together. She says she's living in a nightmare and can't wake up. She says she was on the phone with her brother when police showed up at his door around 11:30 Tuesday. She heard voices belonging to a male and female officer saying that they were there to arrest her brother for a breach of a court order to stay away from a woman he was charged with assaulting. Jordan McKay hung up the phone. 10 minutes later, his sister was in his driveway. She wasn't allowed inside. Her brother was taken to hospital. According to police, he died an hour later. But McKay Greening says nobody told her family that.
They said, sorry that your brother is deceased. He was pronounced dead at 12:35, and I'm saying to myself, it don't end at 12:35. Like, why are we in there waiting and no answers? And we asked him, my mother begged, and we begged, like, please tell us what happened. Like, what happened? They said, we can't tell you what happened.
She says they learned there had been a shooting hours after leaving the hospital on social media. Now they want answers.
I know they got to do their job, but I know it's like taser, spray, you know what I mean? Like, why shoot to kill?
Jordan McKay was known to police. He had a 5-page criminal record, charged with assault just 2 days before.
They dealt with Jordan enough to know, and like I said, every time, like, the dealings, but he would never. There's no report saying that he would ever attack a police officer or any allegations with any. He always, like 2 nights before that, he left peacefully. They took him up to McDonald's and got him something to eat before they arrested him. Like, why couldn't he have those 2 officers that he did 2 nights ago?
Members of the Ontario Provincial Police arrived in Corner Brook yesterday to begin their external investigation into just what happened. For its part, the RNC says it wouldn't be appropriate to comment on this case while it's being investigated by the OPP. The family want to know why Jordan was shot inside this home. They plan to voice their frustrations at a public demonstration outside of police headquarters on Monday. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
Some stunning numbers from a Senate committee looking into search and rescue. According to the report released yesterday, Newfoundland and Labrador sees twice as many incidents as any other province. On average, 600 incidents a year and 18 deaths. It's a reality one family in Labrador knows all too well. Malone Mullen reports.
It's been a long time coming for the family of Burton Winters. The 14-year-old died on sea ice outside Makkovik in 2012. Military search crews didn't start looking for him for 36 hours. The province promised an inquiry, but said it needed this Senate report to begin.
We're hoping now that there's no further delays. It's been a bit of a roller coaster over the last 6 years, and they're hoping now that government will take this, consider it, and that we'll move forward with the inquiry as they committed to do.
In a statement, Public Safety Minister Andrew Parsons said his department is still figuring out how to proceed with an inquiry promised back in 2015. It is supposed to look not only at Burton Winters, but at the bigger search and rescue picture. And the picture is troubling. Across the country, Canadian summon rescue teams 27 times on average each day. Those teams save 15 lives and help 52 people. That's every day, when there's fire, flood, fog, or man overboard. But people are still dying. One key recommendation from the Senate report, EPIRBs on every vessel. Those are emergency beacons to help locate troubled ships.
If I were a fisherman, I would actually have an EPIRB that I would take to bed with me every night. I would kiss it and I would hug it. That's how important it would be to me.
Another recommendation, a pilot project in Newfoundland and Labrador to contract private rescue teams scattered throughout coastal regions, so that on days like this, Help will always be close by. Malone Mullen, CBC News, St. John's.
Now, Torngat Mountains MHA Randy Edmonds was part of the local search for Burton Winters back in 2012, and he says the Senate report is a good step toward improving response times.
We remain hopeful that, as a result of what happened with Burton and with this report coming out, that there could be some forward movement in where we're going to go in ensuring the safety of our people.
Now, we'll have more from Debbie's conversation with Randy Edmonds, and that's coming up in about 25 minutes.
More than 100 people are still looking for somewhere to sleep following yesterday's apartment fire in the west end of St. John's. The fire originated in one of the units inside Rockcliffe Heights on Black Marsh Road yesterday afternoon. No one was inside the apartment at the time the fire broke out, and crews quickly put it out. The first floor of the complex also sustained smoke damage, and the building's electrical and safety systems were damaged.
Well, people in this province can now text 911.
A direct text message to 911 is not going to work.
Now, the system is aimed at people with hearing or speech impediments, and this is important. Users still have to call 911 even to use that texting feature. The 911 operator will launch the text app. And another note, users must register their phones with providers in order to be able to text.
The jury is out in the retrial of Stephen Neville. He's accused of second-degree murder and attempted murder stemming from a street fight over 8 years ago. Today, Justice Robert Stack gave his instructions to the 11-member jury, and then deliberations began. The jury will decide if Neville is guilty of second-degree murder or if he should be convicted of the lesser charge of manslaughter. They'll be sequestered until a unanimous verdict is reached. It all stems from a 2010 fight. 19-year-old Doug Flynn was stabbed multiple times with a knife, including a fatal one to his temple. A second man, Ryan Dwyer, was seriously wounded. Neville was not injured. He was found guilty during the first trial in 2013, but that conviction was overturned by the Supreme Court.
A man accused of illegally shipping ephedrine out of the country will not go on trial. This was the scene at Supreme Court in St. John's last year. Rob King had been facing 3 counts under the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act, but the judge stayed those charges after ruling that King's right to a speedy trial was violated. The charges against King date back to 2013. The Crown appealed last year's ruling, but in a decision released today, the top court in the province dismissed that appeal, and that means the stay remains in place and there will be no trial.
4 years later than originally planned, the new stretch of highway connecting Kenmount and Topsail Roads in St. John's is gearing up to open. The 4-kilometer stretch of road will open this Monday. It cost about $59 million and was originally supposed to be finished in 2014. The province says the new section required 5 overpasses, 16 ramps, 1 roundabout, and 1 entirely new road. Drivers can access that new stretch of the Team Gushue Highway in a number of ways, via Kenmount or Topsail Road, Captain Wayland Drive, the new Briar Avenue, and Black Marsh Road.
A lot of people have been waiting for a while for that.
Goodness, that new stretch of Gushue Highway is also going to have overnight snow clearing.
Right, a fair bit of controversy about that. People asking for it, so good to see they'll have that there.
Absolutely. And we know the weather sometimes brings conditions that we need snow clearing.
Absolutely.
What are we looking at?
Well, we shouldn't see any need for snow clearing, at least accumulation-wise for the Avalon, at least through the weekend, so that looks not too bad. But as far as winds go, we saw stronger winds again this morning down through the south coast. If we take a look at those numbers, 109 kilometers per hour for Burgeo again. Wreck House area sitting around 76 kilometers per hour, and then it's been pretty windy through most of the day for the rest of the island anyway. And if we take a look at what's happening right now, we're seeing those winds dying down slightly, but still gusting anywhere from 50 to 60 kilometers per hour along the northeast coast, though a little bit higher. Twillingate sitting at about 85 kilometer per hour gusts. Now, the official numbers are in as far as how much rain and snow fell from this system. And then as we head towards the weekend, it looks quite nice with some sun in the forecast as that low continues to pull away. But I'll have all those details coming up in a little bit. Debbie?
Thanks, Ashley. It looks like Theatre Newfoundland and Labrador is one step closer to achieving the dream of a new building. Fortis announced it is donating $500,000 to the Set the Stage campaign. The company's president and CEO was on hand to deliver the good news and the check in Corner Brook. The money will go towards a new performing arts center for the Gross Mourne Theatre Festival in Cowhead. Work on the project was expected to begin last spring. Despite some delays, the theatre company says it's still aiming to finish the building in time for the 2019 season.
Well, cross-country skiing competition now officially underway in Newfoundland and Labrador. The provincial team is in Labrador City this weekend to compete in the NL Cup.
It's also a time to start training for this season's biggest event, the Canadian Winter Games. Jacob Barker visited the Menahek Nordic Ski Club to chat with some skiers.
It's the first race of the season, so it's pretty much just to get a grasp of where everybody has been training. Lots of skiing, just working on technique most of the time.
Do you compete against each other?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it normally depends on the race.
Okay. The type of race.
We've been aspiring to make the provincial scene. This is our second year competing in the can.
So how are you feeling with the level of competition? Do you think you can do it?
It's harder than it seems. I feel pretty good. It just takes a lot of work.
So we're starting the Lab Cup this weekend. So Jeremy's got some races on Saturday and Sunday. Then we're going to be competing in Corner Brook in January, and then he's headed to Canada Games in Red Deer in February as well.
We're just doing a bigger drill and just doing uphill. And
what do you think of the Menahek Club here?
it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
You know, not used to sea diving, but
it's a lot colder out here, eh?
yeah.
First competition this year of our Newfoundland Cup happening this weekend. We have 5 races scheduled this year. So it's a provincial-wide circuit where we compete and everyone gets a score, and we hand out events at the end of the season.
How do you kind of get the kids ready for the Canada Winter Games?
Well, the kids look after that on their own. All our athletes are, like I say, super motivated this year, so they're going to be putting in the time. I can only offer them so much training and so much guidance.
This is a volume camp, so we're just getting a lot of skiing and working on our technique. So that's the most important aspect of this camp.
So Canada Winter Games, why is it such an important event for you?
Because it's such a big event. And I don't know how many chances I get, maybe 2. Yeah. So very important to go to it.
Looks fantastic.
Oh my goodness, I would love to have conditions like that. I think we're in the minority, but
I know we are.
Beautiful,
I know we are.
beautiful.
All that snow that Ashley's talking about, you can see it there. I know it's Jacob, no gloves, so it can't be that cold. Can't be that cold, no.
When they come back here, they have a very, hard time adapting to the way we live.
As Ottawa unveils plans to hand control of child welfare to Indigenous groups, we'll hear what the Band Council in Natwashish is doing to keep kids close to home.
Welcome back, everybody, and Anthony.
Yep.
Anthony.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
What? What are you up to?
Well, as you know, every now and then I'm involved with this charity event that happens twice a year, and we're going to get to that, but I'm practicing because it involves these grannies, these Terra Nova grannies, and I have to practice for tomorrow. And if you'll see, Cooper's is a 7-letter word, and as you know, a Cooper is a barrel maker or barrel repair. So there's obviously barrel makers in your past.
In my husband's past.
Oh.
It's an assumed name.
Anyway, okay. Well, it's better than my ancestors who are all prostitutes and thieves. But yeah, so I hope to actually spell this to. I don't know what's a Brawweiler.
What's Brawweiler? Actual the brewmaster.
Wow, between the barrels and the brew, this is the best duo I could possibly work with. It's fantastic. To heck with Scrabble, we're making beer all weekend.
You'll be the taster.
Yeah, so tomorrow, if you got some free time, you're in the St. John's area, the Terra Nova grandmothers, they have their annual tournament between. And you can come as a team or come solo, be paired up. There's players of all levels are welcome to this. So there's some kids usually. And if you're really keen, I'd love to see you there. It's only $15, and all of the proceeds go to the Stephen Lewis Foundation. So it's grandmothers in Newfoundland and Labrador helping grandmothers in Africa who, of course, are raising the children of their children who perished in the AIDS crisis. So it's a great cause. And even if you don't like Scrabble, you should come for the baking because these grannies can bake. So just drop by. Great time, the Lantern. There's overflow parking at the Basilica if you're in the St. John's area. It's always fun. So come by tomorrow afternoon. It'll be great to see you. And I'm the MC, so.
I hear it gets very competitive
certain
with
players.
certain players.
Yes, one MHA in particular, about this tall. Yeah. Anyhow, apparently we've got a show to get on with here.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could talk about Scrabble all day. Why not? Yeah, weather-wise.
The weekend is upon us.
It is upon us.
It's important.
Yeah, but we did just get through a storm on Wednesday, and the official numbers are in. So if we take a look at those significant rainfall amounts for parts of the Burin and the Avalon, look at that. St. Lawrence, 76.8 millimeters of rain fell. Paradise, 61.7 here in St. John's. We saw 33.4 millimeters of rain. Bonavista, very similar. And all of that was snow for parts of Central. We did see some rain mix in, though, but it's been the snowiest November on record for Gander, so this definitely added to that now that we're at the end of November. 24 centimeters of snow fell, and Twillingate saw 22.7. Now, not only was it rain and snow, we saw significant winds, which caused a lot of damage down around the south coast. So Burgeo saw 141 kilometer per hour wind, Port aux Basques 133, and then the Wreck House area saw gusts around 120 kilometers per hour, and is strong right up along the northeast coast as well, gusts between 90 to 100 kilometers per hour. Now, those winds have died down and will continue to do so as we head through the night tonight, especially along the west coast. That's where we'll see that first. As that system continues to pull away, we'll see those winds ease into tomorrow afternoon, and then into Sunday. Looks like the nicest day. Those winds will ease right down, right across the board. So it does look like a beautiful afternoon. But then the next system rolls in on Monday, and then those winds will pick right back up with that system. So here's a look at the satellite radar. We did see some snow and rain push through the Avalon. We're still seeing that along the northeast coast as well. That will continue as we head through the night tonight. Again, as that system will continue to track a little bit further east. And then it does look like a nice day as we head through the day tomorrow. Just some cloudy periods for the most part, especially up through Labrador. Looking at that risk of flurries through the afternoon along the west coast as well. South coast and Burin look absolutely beautiful tomorrow with that mix of sun and cloud. Might see a few chance of flurries for the Burin Peninsula. Otherwise, either rain or snow for the Avalon into the afternoon. And those temperatures tomorrow not really moving much from tonight, really. So we're going to see a temperature around 2 degrees for most of the Avalon. Still hanging on to those fog patches. Now, not much accumulation for most of the island, but we are looking at about traced to maybe 5 centimeters of snow on the way for Gander tonight, hovering around the 0 degree mark. A nice day, or a nice evening rather, for the Northern Peninsula. Just a slight chance of a few flurries, and 1 degree for St. Anthony. Corner Brook, 1 degree as well. Same for Port aux Basques. Again, those winds will ease, but stay a little bit breezy for the east coast looking at north winds 40, gusting 60. Marystown looking either rain or snow as that temperature drops down to 0 degrees. Now up through Labrador, Lab City dropping down to about -14 tonight. It does look like the chance of flurries across the board. The Straits, though, with just partly cloudy skies, 0 degrees. Cartwright, either rain or snow, and hovering around the 0 degree mark. And then into tomorrow, as I mentioned, those temperatures aren't really moving much. We're not really going to see a jump in temperatures until we head towards Monday, really. Just that risk of either rain or snow for the Avalon. Lingering flurries expected for central Marystown, nice day, 2 degrees. Again, along the south coast looks nice. Port aux Basque sitting around 3 degrees, and then that risk of flurries there. And then a nice day for the most part for Labrador, temperatures hovering between -7 and -9, and then along the coast a little bit warmer. So when I come back, we'll look at ahead at the forecast for the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, Ashley. The federal government is moving to hand control of child welfare services to Indigenous governments. The hope is it will reduce the huge number of Indigenous children in foster care.
Legislation marks a turning point to say no more. No more scooping children. No more ripping apart families. No more lost children who don't know their language, their culture, their lineage.
The legislation will be tabled in the new year. Philpott hopes it will be passed before the federal election next fall. It's been drafted with input from First Nations, Inuit, Métis representatives. It will also respect the United Nations Convention on Children's Rights. The specifics, like how the transfer will work, have not been revealed yet. 8% of Canadian children are Indigenous, but they make up more than 50% of children living in care across the country.
Now, I'll remind you about an angle of this story in our province where about 1/3 of the children in care are Indigenous. Now, back in 2017, Here and Now's Terry Roberts did a deep investigation into this issue.
Just started drinking out of nowhere and I lost my children. I would love to reunite with us, but we're in continuous custody. I think it's going to be hard for me to fight for.
Now, Terry headed to Nain and then to Roddickton, a Northern Peninsula community where many Innu and Inuit children were staying with foster families, far away from their homes, their language, and their culture. Now, after Terry's story aired, the province announced a planned inquiry into Innu children's experience in that kind of care. The Child and Youth Advocate is reviewing Inuit children's experiences.
And in Nutwashish, an emergency shelter for children in care will open in January. The idea is to keep children closer to home. Chief John Newey explains what that will mean for the community.
This emergency placement homes has been in talks for a while. A lot of kids from our community or reserve, has been flown out to outside the community. We wanted the kids to stay here. To stay within the community. When kids are aged out at the age of 16 from CSSD, when they come back here, they have a very hard time adapting to the way we live because they've been gone for so long. The language is sometimes there, but sometimes not. The bond with the parents, the friends is hard. They'll have more in contact with the people that they know, and they'll speak their language. They go to school here and spend a lot of time with their families.
The emergency placement home will have 5 beds, and it also has cribs, and it will take 0 to 18 youth, like age groups.
It's located right across from our school. A lot of work has to be done, renovations, for the office space and so on, to use it as a building to occupy the children.
It's like a normal house, and me and my staff are in the process of hanging up traditional things like drums, string catchers, making it very homey. There's going to be like 4, they're called Ukumo, like grandmothers, and there could be Umoshomo grandfathers, and just stay there and cook. Their responsibilities will be with the child and bond. The grandparents raise the grandchildren. They're really important. Everybody in the community has so much respect for the elders.
We have a consulting firm from St. John, and they're doing the training for our staff here. So it's going to be run, with the help from outside.
I'll be having 8 full-time staff, and they'll be casual.
We're targeting it after January, after New Year's. So hopefully, we're still fixing up a few glitches here and there. Hopefully, we'll have everything in place by January. It's the first step of trying to get a long-term group home for our youth. Again, we don't want them to be sent out. That's the whole point. Take care of our own.
I think we owe it to Burton Winter's memory, certainly owe it to his family and to everyone else that lives up here.
The people of Makkovik know it all too well. A Senate report shows gaps in search and rescue.
But how will it impact people in this province? That conversation ahead. Back to our earlier story about the Senate committee's report into search and rescue operations. It's being welcomed by people in Makkovik, where Burton Winters lost his life on the ice in 2012. Local searchers spent 2 days looking for the teen before search and rescue finally provided aircraft. Randy Edmonds is the Liberal MHA for the area and was part of the local ground search team. He joins us from Makkovik. Well, Mr. Edmonds, you just hand-delivered a copy of the Senate report to Burton's father, stepmother. What's their reaction today?
They were, very appreciative of the fact that the report is out, and actually quite thankful that they got a copy, and they're going to, when they get a chance, go through it and see how it's applicable.
So how it's applicable is something that you've been looking at the report for, and you're personally very familiar with search and rescue. You looked for Burton, you've looked for others, and I also understand you've had to be rescued yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess that's a part of being someone who was out on land, out on the sea ice. We've had to be rescued, and we've rescued. It's the companionship comfort level that we all have, is that if you're not home, someone will look for you.
Now, there are 17 recommendations. One is commercial helicopters should provide extra search and rescue services. They've recommended a pilot project. What do you think of that recommendation?
Well, I guess first of all, it's a little early to go into any detail on the recommendations. They just came out. But we've had private companies chartered through Fire and Emergency Services to pick up search and rescue. We do have the Griffins in Happy Valley Goose Bay, but outside of that, there's very little in terms of private partnerships that could be formed with helicopter companies that are close to us in northern Labrador.
It sounds like they'd have to install better equipment. Do you think this is feasible? Sounds expensive.
Well, the question is, what price do you put on the safety of people that live in the area and the people that pass through the area? You're going through some of the recommendations, and it's quite early to digest everything. Is that some of the recommendations, one of my understanding, have already been implemented. And some of them are geared towards remote areas like northern Labrador, like Nunavut and Natoshis.
So is there anything else in particular that you welcome in this report?
Well, there's a couple of things. I guess the unity of resources coming under my department would slow down some of the mix-ups that could have happened, which did happen with the Burton Winters tragedy. And, as for the rest, certainly we've got to go through them extensively. We have to communicate with the federal government, as search and rescue is their responsibility. So we remain hopeful that, as a result of what happened with Burton and with this report coming out, that there could be some forward movement in where we're going to go in ensuring the safety of our people.
Is there anything in particular that is missing in your view?
Well, I guess personally, when I looked through the report, I looked at it from a lens of being an Inuk or someone from northern Labrador. Usually you look for what's relevant, and there's an interpretation that has to be applied to this to extract what's going to be relevant to the area that we live in. I mean, my obligation as the MHA for the area is to advocate for safety in our particular region. I think we owe it to Burton Winters' memory, certainly owe it to his family and to everyone else that lives up here.
Randy Edmonds, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yeah, I think he saw it as an admission that there had been a fudging or somehow manipulation of the numbers going up to sanction.
A big week at the Muskrat Falls inquiry. Our political panel breaks down what you need to know. Coming up.
Well, it's been a dramatic week at the Muskrat Falls inquiry. It kicked off with some explosive testimony on Monday that has rippled through the following days. The CBC's Mark Quinn and the Telegram's Ashley Fitzpatrick were at the inquiry for all of this, and they're with me right now. Thanks for coming in. So bring us back to what happened earlier in the week.
It's been a long week, but way back on Monday, people remember that Gilbert Bennett, who's the project leader for Muskrat Falls, was on the stand, and he was asked questions about the cost estimates. And the person asking those questions was the co-counsel for the commission, Kate O'Brien, and she asked him about that. And here's the key clip that when he responds.
All right.
You were there at these negotiations, okay? Do you recall one of the things that you did to address getting it below this threshold was to either reduce the confidence level or somehow remove strategic risk amounts or some of the tactical risk amounts, but remove any contingencies, reserve amounts from the numbers in order to get it below that
I'm acknowledging that's what was done, yeah.
So let's get into the reaction to this, Ashley. What's the sense of how this play out?
Well, I think at the very moment that was spoken, I think a lot of people heard that and thought, wow, that's a really important revelation. There's something really key in that. And then as the week went on, I think the perspective on that changed a little bit as we heard questions from other lawyers and more importantly, some of the redirect and further questions to Gilbert Bennett on that. And of course, Ed Martin coming out and speaking to the subject. It raised some suggestion that there was just confusion over the understanding there. But consumer advocate Dennis Brown is one of the people who, as soon as that was spoken, was really
quick,
felt that it was an important moment and spoke to reporters about it being an important moment.
Yeah, I think he saw it as an admission that there had been a fudging or somehow manipulation of the numbers going up to sanction. We learned later, of course, this was they were talking perhaps about negotiations with Emera in 2010 and not the number that was used at sanction, 6.2 billion, in 2012.
Right. Mark Ashley just mentioned the fact that Ed Martin wasn't supposed to be talking really or testifying, but he felt compelled to come forward, speak with reporters. What's your sense of what that was important?
Well, he actually was out of the province. He was out on the west coast of Canada. He made his way back here for this, and he did want to speak with reporters. And he said that he wanted to sort of have a chance to speak to this clip, really, that what was raised in this clip. And he wanted to say that this was not as simple as someone suggesting the numbers have been manipulated. And he repeatedly said there was no lowballing. There was no lowballing. He repeated that a number of times. And he wanted to point out that he believes what was being talked about was that there were actually two processes going on. There was the number that was being given to the project team and the number that was being prepared for sanction. And then he says there was this other number being prepared with Emera in negotiations. And of course, Emera needed to have a number that they could bring to their Public Utilities Board to push this through and have it approved by them. And of course, we needed Emera on board because we wanted to get the loan guarantee. So there were negotiations. Martin says that he actually, I guess you could say, highballed the number. He went in with a high number as a negotiating position and intended to whittle that down to the 6.2 billion. And he says, fortunately, that's what actually happened.
Now, when you mentioned earlier, Ashley, that the meaning of what Gil Bennett's testimony was in the early part of the week has changed, was this largely because of what Mr. Martin had to say?
It's really interesting. I think it's one of the points when the inquiry really hit on some of the problems that you see in the communications on the project itself, where risk maybe is referenced generally, and then you hear about strategic risk, and then you hear about tactical risk. And when someone comments, you're not necessarily sure which one they might be talking about at any given point in time. So I think this is a case where at least looking back at it now, perhaps a question was asked where it wasn't 100% clear to the people listening in any event on exactly what was being said.
All right, so I think we do have some of what Mr. Martin had to say to try to clarify all this, so should we take a look?
Sure, yes, yeah, he was on the morning show this morning and he did talk about that. And it's interesting because he talked about what happened in the past, but he also talked about what he thinks is going to happen in the future, and this clip talks to that, and here's what he had to say.
All right, let's take a look.
A decision had to be made. It's a longer-term decision. You cannot put your head in the sand. We made it. It's the right decision. It's the right decision then. I tell you, it's the right decision now, and it certainly will be in the future.
So no doubt in his mind. I mean, he really believes this is the project for the future.
What can we read into what he said in terms of what his testimony eventually will be?
I think he really hasn't changed throughout, from the start of the project to today. He's been pretty firm on exactly his opinions and his stance on the project, and I haven't seen that waver once throughout myself. I think that's actually maybe part of what the inquiry is now starting to reveal, is that the confidence expressed on this project was really part of what was stopping maybe a more fulsome public debate. That, right. Just the expressions of pure, firm, this is what it is and this is what it will be.
Right, the sense of really swinging for the fences.
Changes things, yeah.
Next week, Mark, what can we expect?
Well, we're looking forward to Jerome Kennedy, who's going to be on the stand. He can be combative, as we all know. Right. And the lawyer who's expected to be questioning him, Barry Lermont, also has been combative during this inquiry. So it could be an interesting testimony next week. And of course, we're looking forward to hearing Mr. Martin on the stand. Right. One of the things he hasn't talked about yet is why we're where we are now. What's gotten us over budget and over schedule? We asked him about it yesterday, and he said, I don't want to look like I'm trying to influence the inquiry, but I will testify about it. So that's something we're looking forward to.
All right,
as well.
Jerome Kennedy, former Natural Resources Minister, next week. Ashley, Mark, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, switching gears now, tonight, a final piece of advice about getting by should you lose your job. Al Antle of the Credit Counseling Service of Newfoundland and Labrador walks you through surviving awful financial news. He says, although it certainly changes your life, you can still live a little.
Don't cancel Christmas. Don't cancel Christmas. But look to see what you can deliver Christmas for. Change the way you do things as a consumer. For example, prioritize your expenses. This is not a good time to start skipping payments on heat and light. Look at things like your cell phone. You need to look and see what can you do to cut that cost back. You also need to stop and look at how you consume everything. Would it be cheaper for you to take a bus than to take your own car downtown? Are you a good shopper in the supermarket? Clothing, great way to save money on clothing is to try second-hand outlets. Don't forget to continue to invest in your relationship. Still make sure that you and your partner are okay. Still find something for date night. Maybe it's not dinner and a movie, maybe it's just a movie. Your job while you're unemployed is going to be being the best consumer, the best manager, the best getter-buyer that you can possibly be. And nobody on the planet can be better at that than you can.
The U-Turn Recovery Drop-In Centre in Carbonear is working to end the stigma of what an addict looks like. The organization has come a long way since Jeff and Tammy Bourne started 8 years ago. That's after opening a new clinic earlier this year. The couple is helping more people than ever before. And last night, more than 75 people took part in the centre's annual Addictions Awareness Walk.
Don't get vocal about addictions being in our neighbourhoods. I think if we don't get vocal, we'll never end the stigma, even though there's a lot of awareness out there today. However, the stigma is still attached to people with addictions. And this year's theme is all walks of life. So it's a way that people can finally open their eyes, because the view in some people's eyes of an addict is someone they see at the drugstore waiting to get their methadone drink, or an alcoholic is the guy with the long trench coat on, right? But it's not. It's all walks of life.
Well, just about every time I head out of the office today, I got kind of wet and hair blown, and a lot of people, of course, doing some stuff, getting ready for the big day. December starts this weekend.
It does. I can't believe we're already in the beginning of December.
I know, it is unbelievable.
Jeez, where's this year gone? Yeah, well, it's not, well, I guess maybe it is going to feel like December tomorrow for most areas, but we are going to see the sun peek out, which is kind of nice. Yeah, so if we take a look at what's going to happen Saturday night into Sunday, we're just going to see some lingering flurries most likely for parts of the northeast coast and along the west coast as well, and then we're going to see things clear out on Sunday. It definitely looks like the best day of the weekend by far for the island and up through Labrador as well. More in the way of cloudy periods through the day, but those winds are really going to die down and those temperatures are going to stay quite nice as well. But into Sunday night into Monday is when we're going to see that next system roll through. So here's a look at the forecast for Sunday. Plenty of sunshine, as I mentioned. Temperatures hovering between 1 and 2 degrees, a little cooler up through Labrador, -2, and Cartwright, Nain down to -10 by Sunday, and Lab City sitting at about -9. Still looking at that chance of some lingering flurries as well. But as I mentioned, that system will move in overnight on Sunday, so it looks like a messy drive to start off your Monday. It does look like it should start to snow. In behind it, though, we're going to see a big push of warm air in somewhere between 3, maybe 5 degrees above zero into the afternoon on Monday. Right now, it looks like the northern peninsula should stay as snow as that system continues to track further east. We're going to see some snow for Labrador as well. Could see accumulation somewhere between 5 to 10 centimeters with this system for Labrador. And then in behind that on Tuesday, some lingering flurries and snow possible for most of the island, clearing out nicely by Wednesday afternoon for Labrador. So if you take a look at your outlook with those numbers, there's that big warm up I was talking about. 6 degrees should be the afternoon high on Monday, but those winds are really going to pick up. Again, starting as snow, changing over to rain with that temperature is going to stay quite nicely warm on Tuesday. So anything that does fall for the Avalon looks like it should fall as rain. And then Wednesday, looking at 1 degree and some sun and cloud through the afternoon. Now through central Newfoundland, late day, we'll see that chance of showers move, or rather flurries move in. Again, plenty of sunshine on tap. Monday looks windy. And then again, we're going to see that risk of some snow on Tuesday with those temperatures dipping. Look at that, 8 degrees on Monday, dipping down to -2 by the time Wednesday rolls around. Western Newfoundland, that snow again late day, changing over to rain on Monday. Windy conditions expected, -2 on Tuesday, -3 on Wednesday. Overnight, we're going to see those temperatures dip down to the minus single digits. And then for Labrador, that snow will move in for eastern portions a little bit later on Sunday, continue through Monday with flurries on Tuesday, and again clearing out, but dipping down to -10 on Wednesday, -17 as the overnight low. And then for Western Labrador, that'll happen a little bit sooner on Saturday into Sunday as well as Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, looking at those temperatures down into the -teens. So we're going to look at your weather photo right now.
Wow.
That one's just a stunning photo. I don't know if you can guess where that's from, but
I really don't know.
Stormy seas make for beautiful photos.
It's not the Arches? No.
I don't know where that is, so I'm going to
West
say
Coast?
no.
West Coast? I don't think so.
No, but I will have all these details, or tell you where this is coming up in just a few minutes.
Sunshine. Well, they say that bigger isn't always better, but in the case of Knickers, it is.
All will be revealed. Look at him being giant. Saved this steer from the slaughterhouse. Knickers is 6'4" and lives on a cattle ranch in Australia. He's been famous ever since pictures surfaced of him towering over that herd of smaller cattle.
Wow. Now, not to be outdone, another giant is giving Knickers a run for his money. This is Dozer. He's from Manitoba and measures in 1 full inch taller, 6'5". So there you go. Wow.
An anniversary greetings brought to you by Lane's Retirement Living. With a bowling alley, pool, cinema, and more. Everyone wants in. Lane's Retirement Living. Sorry, only for seniors.
Well, it's happy 90th birthday coming up on December 3rd to Joan Collins from Clark's Head, Gander Bay. Happy 67th wedding anniversary to Whitfield and Nina McGraw of New Bonaventure, now in Clarenville. They celebrated on the 26th. Greetings to Fred and Shirley Rose of Bishop's Falls, who celebrated their 58th anniversary also on the 26th. Happy 59th anniversary to Malcolm and Jane Blanchard from Pollard's Point. They celebrated on the 26th as well. Happy 53rd wedding anniversary to Raymond and Marie Peddle of Port Blanford. Their special day was the 26th.
And celebrating 60 years of marriage, Frank and Mabel Coates in Stephenville, originally from Conception Bay South. And a happy 60th anniversary yesterday to Bill and Barbara Butt from St. John's. And greetings to Claude and Mildred Banfield in Salt Pond, Buren, who celebrated their 55th wedding anniversary on Wednesday. Jim and Shirley Mosher from Corner Brook celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary on Wednesday as well. And a happy 90th birthday to Kay McCann from Stephenville, who celebrates tomorrow.
Congratulations to Florence Single on her 95th birthday this Wednesday. She's originally from New Chelsea, Trinity Bay, and is now in Shoal Harbour. Happy 93rd birthday today to Gordon Parsons. He lives in Codroy. Happy 92nd birthday to Joyce Piercy of Grand Falls, Windsor, now living in Gander, who will be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. Birthday greetings to Ken Penny from Lewisport, who was 92 years old yesterday. Happy 92nd birthday today to Bertha Melendi at Hillcrest Estates in Mount Pearl.
And happy anniversary to Donald and Judy Ryan, who are celebrating their 50th anniversary today. They're originally from Labrador City, now living in St. John's. And congrats to Roger and Gertie Short from Deer Lake, celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary on December the 8th. Anniversary greetings to Jack and Helen Williams in Conception Harbour on their 54th wedding anniversary. And a happy 50th wedding anniversary to Audrey and Wesley Keats in Dildo. Happy 66th anniversary to Bill and Eileen Dwyer of Carbonear.
It was the 58th anniversary for Marion and Junior Bailey of Grand Falls, Windsor on the 28th. Happy birthday to Alice Emberley of Mount Pearl. She will be 96 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday to Agnes Hartery, formerly from Portugal Cove. That's formerly from Portugal Cove South. She's now in St. John's, and Agnes turns 90 tomorrow. A very special birthday to tell you about. Happy birthday to Frida Gillis of St. Finton's, who will be 108 years old December 5th. Birthday greetings to Clifton Loader of Summerside Bay of Islands, who will be celebrating his 92nd birthday this Sunday.
And happy birthday to Sadie Ivany from Lower Lance Cove, Random Island, who celebrated her 92nd birthday on the 28th. Happy anniversary to Will and Lil Lawler in Kappa Hayden, celebrating their golden wedding anniversary today. And a happy 68th wedding anniversary to Jack and Elizabeth Forward of Buckens, whose special day is on Sunday. And a happy 50th wedding anniversary to Raymond and Edna Waterman of Twillingate, who are celebrating with style in Hawaii. And congratulations to Reginald and Edith Hedge from Stephenville on their 65th wedding anniversary this Sunday. They're now in Deer Lake.
Best wishes to Norman and Gloria Leto on their 56th wedding anniversary on Wednesday. Odell and Louis Marsh of Port West will celebrate their 57th anniversary coming up on Sunday. Best wishes to Majors Ray and Joan Stratton of St. John's on their 68th anniversary tomorrow. And happy 60th anniversary to Frank and Shirley Warfield, who celebrated yesterday. They're living in Charlottetown, Bonavista Bay. Congratulations to all once
Well
again.
done. Well done.
Well done. Well, let's take a look at that photo one more time.
Big splash.
Big splash there.
Big waves too. So that taken this week? You think?
No, I think it was earlier this week.
Okay.
Oh, so it was
in the
this
wind.
week.
Yeah.
So
Up there though. Oh.
Yeah, leading tickles.
Leading tickles.
So this was a shot, stormy seas at Ocean View Park, and Linda Lane sent us that photo. I thought that was a gorgeous shot.
Very nice.
Beautiful, and we've had such high winds,
Oh,
so
boy, have we ever.
that has contributed to all that wave action for sure.
Absolutely. If you have any weather photos you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca and we'll get them on the show.
And that's our program. Thanks for being with us all this week.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Good luck with the Scrabble
Yep.
tomorrow.
Drop by
and
the
good
lantern.
luck with your weekend, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, get
And
out and
you.
enjoy the weather.
Bye-bye.